Hi everybody, so thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of the Mindful Minutes. Today I wanted to talk about mindful parenting. So, no, I am not here to tell anyone how to parent their children, nor how to engage in their own philosophy on parenting. That is not what I'm trying to do. However, in thinking about the episode that I wanted to film today, I was thinking a lot of what is society like today and how can we invest in it? So I have a philosophy that I live by in raising my children. I'm a mother of 3 daughters, one preteen, 2 teenagers, so it's a little bit of a challenge. However, my philosophy is that it is not my job to fix the world because, quite frankly, as one person, I cannot physically fix all the problems in the world, but it is my job to invest in it. Obviously, contribute to society, contribute to humanity and the quality of humanity that I would like to see. Part of that contribution is how I raise my children and the quality of values that I instill in them to go out into the world and make their own footprint and their own difference in it. So something that I've always loved that kind of mirrors how I would like to raise my children is the philosophy behind the golden rule. Treat others how you would like to be treated. I was raised in a household that was very keen on treating others kindly, fair reciprocation, just, putting out the quality of life that you would like to receive. There is a commercial that really represents that foundation of values and qualities in my life, and it is the Marriott Hotel commercial on the Golden Rule, which obviously teaches human kindness, which we just so happen to need a lot more of. So, in this commercial, it talks about many aspects of human kindness, and to quote it, it says, wouldn't it be great if humans were great at being human? Wouldn't it be amazing if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men? And then it also goes on to say, it would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly and if indifference a forgotten word. And it ends to say, it would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man. If the golden rule was golden to every man, if we all understood that it's important to treat others the way that we would like to be treated, to invest in mankind the way that we would like mankind to invest in us, right? So basically, the foundation of my parenting is that it's my job to lead by example, which goes way back to the nature versus nurture debate in parenting. We all have different parenting styles. None of us are here to be told how to parent our children or what morals and values to raise them on. That's all our individual preference. However, I do believe that basic philosophies of kindness, of generosity, of instilling qualities within themselves, of investing in themselves, is something that we really do have to teach our children, especially today. In a day where technology is really, in some instances, raising our kids for us. There's so many influences in society for young kids, for teenagers, for young adults. And how do we really give them the proper guidance to go out into the world and be able to thrive and be happy and successful? Now, there are amazing things that do happen in life that I am excited to introduce to my children, but then there's also a very brutal reality that life is not easy and life can be extremely challenging. Life can be very difficult. We can oftentimes feel victimized through different situations. Relationships fail, job losses happen. I mean, there's a plethora of things that can go wrong in life also. And while I don't want to raise my children with a negative, pessimistic attitude or outlook on life, I do also believe that it's my job and our job as parents in general to teach our kids how to deal with the reality of life as well, how to cope through it. So for me personally, being a survivor of domestic violence, obviously there have been times when my children have been exposed to things that I would not have otherwise wanted them to be exposed to, and certainly not under those circumstances. But what I know is that I can't go back and change it. All I can do is teach them going forward. What they saw is not the reality of how we're supposed to treat each other. It's not okay to abuse one another. It's not okay to control one another. It's not okay to manipulate one another. And it's not okay to be treated that way. And when I instill those values and teach my children how to put those boundaries down in their relationships in life, then what I am doing is, in my opinion, helping them to really put a positive footprint in the world and helping them to protect themselves, helping them to thrive, helping them to learn healthy versus unhealthy. That's what I believe my job as a parent is. And in leading by example, I've messed up sometimes. I am not perfect. I am by far a perfect parent, as are any of us. We're just learning along the way, right? There's no manual that tells us do this, do that, and that's how you raise the perfect child. That's how you are the perfect parent. If you do this, you are sure, you are guaranteed that your children will grow up and love you. And, I mean, it's just, we have to kind of fly by the seat of our own pants sometimes and really wing it and figure it out. But for me, that is the beauty of parenting, because that's what shows our children that there's a rawness in humanity and that it's not always peaches and cream, but it absolutely is survivable, and we can get through any circumstance that comes this way. Even when we make mistakes, all we have to do is change those behaviors or work harder to improve ourselves. And that's what really makes us quality human beings, just a desire to do the best that we can with what we're given in the circumstances that we're given. So that really is the base of what I wanted to talk about today. I didn't want to scrutinize anything. I didn't want to bring a negative flair to parenting, because parenting isn't easy, and we really need to be encouraged as parents through every stage of our children's lives, from newborn to young adulthood. Everything that they do, they're looking at us and they're looking at home, and that's where it's starting. So I am a firm believer that it's our responsibility to give that example to them and to give them all of the tools that they need to go out into the world, thrive for themselves, thrive for their relationships, thrive for the ones that they care about, and then also be able to get through and cope through the difficult times. That's what's going to teach them to be strong and resilient, and that's really what I hope that my daughters will grow up to be: strong, resilient young women. Isn't that what we all hope for our children? So I hope that you can kind of relate to the things that I'm talking about today and what's important in the qualities that we instill in our children and the investment that we put into raising them, and really just giving them the best foundation that we can give so that they can go out in the world and enjoy it and live it to the fullest and really troop through it in the times that they need to. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just have to say that I am just so thankful for all of the support and encouragement I continue to receive. This is only the third episode. However, it's really just kind of taken off. I've received a ton of positive encouragement, and I really do appreciate that. So if you like today's episode, click the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and join me as I continue to explore mindfulness and how we apply it to everyday life. Tune in next week for my second half of the Mindful Minutes, Mindful Parenting, where I talk about co-parenting, as well as elaborate a little bit more on how we as parents can support each other in the community as well. Thank you so much.